Peace and abundance. I'm India Aja. So I really just been out here schooling the kids pretty much literally all day. I mean, that's every day because I'm a mom. But really just out here, and it really had me thinking like on a tribe community and how it's our duty and our responsibility to really raise our children the right way, really be mindful about what they're being exposed to. Um, and it really just had me thinking, some of our elders really complain on how certain kids act certain ways. And it kind of goes into really what have you done to instill into your community? Are you just walking around, complaining about how things need to change, or are you actively putting in that change? Are you actively showing these children how to move through life, how to maneuver their emotions? These are things that really have to be like thought on. I was talking to, it was my son and a few other kids. I'm not gonna go into the situation completely, but my son was confiding in one of the other children, and my son was pretty upset once he heard that the person he confided in went and told someone that he really didn't want to know. Okay. And that ensued a very chaotic fight, which was verbal. A lot of harsh words were said to one another. And I just sat there, calmly, sat there quiet in the corner. They didn't know I was there until one of the boys saw me. And then they were like, you gotta chill. But I ultimately came over there and pretty much just asked them, what was going on. And so one of the kids was like, this what happened, da 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 da. And I talked about his mom, and because he was talking about mine, and it was like, okay, understandable, okay. And so I was like, what's going on? So then I was like, well, I'm his mother, and the child apologized, very polite about it, and I was like, okay, honest about it. And then I just pretty much told the other kid, like, and this goes for all of you as children. I wanted to tell y'all, I hear the words that you all are exchanging, and I see how all of this has happened for y'all to get into y'all verbal argument. And I told the kid, I'm just like, when people trust you to hold something that they have buried inside of them, because they have to get it out, and they really just want to talk about it, and you go to somebody else, especially you go to somebody else that really is not supposed to be hearing what it is that you got going on, you shouldn't be saying that, period. That was my thing that I pretty much explained to them. And I was just like, that's just pretty much it. When somebody trusts you, to trust you enough to confide in you, like, you really have to make sure that you've been kept up on your word and your bond with holding that person's inner stuff that they have, and that they allowed you to hold. Okay, it's not for you to sit here and give to this person, give to that person, and nothing like that. No. So they seemed like they understood. And then I went to another situation where another child tried to threaten my youngest, and then my youngest older sibling took up for her. But in the midst of that, how my oldest, one of my oldest, took up for my youngest to the other child was not okay. It was not ideal. So I corrected it. I stepped in. I said, hey, why are you threatening my child? Just gently, nice like this. And the child said, because your youngest said that they were going to hit me. I said, did she hit you? Did she say she was going to hit you? Or was she trying to hit the skateboard? And then the child said, well, she almost hit me. So I said, well, did she hit you though? And then the child just looked at me. And then the child said, no. I said, okay. So all is well, right? And then the child said, yes. I said, so there was no reason to threaten anybody. So in the midst of that, I told my son, you know, how you spoke to that young child who was a few years younger than my oldest, my third oldest. And I said, you know, you're becoming a part of the problem. And what I meant by that was, if you're going to sit here and react with a negative reaction, a negative tone against another negative reaction, a negative tone, you're only adding fuel to that fire. You're not making anything better. You're not helping anything. So I said, you know, you're older and you're granted you're a child. That child is a child also. But you being older is putting you in a position of being an example. And you don't want to be a part of the problem. You want to be a part of the solution. So I said, you saw how I talked to that child? My oldest said, yes. I said, okay, did I yell? No. Did I scream? No. Did I curse? No. I said, well, how you are in this world, you're needing to sit here and help and be an example. Show people how to actually go about things in the right way. I said, don't become part of the problem. You got to become a solution, you know. There are ways to sit here and handle certain situations. So many different ways. But oftentimes, a lot of our families have passed down ways of survival. And it's nothing but just harbored anger, resentment. And then now it's coming to a point of being a way of life. We don't need no more of that. We don't. We thoroughly, actively have to be a part of the solution, a part of the fact that our children could healthy in a way, have a healthy dialogue with one another without yelling, without cursing, without screaming, you know. So really, that's just really my thing, you know. A lot of us are the next elders soon to be. We're coming up in age, you know. We have to be the ones to sit here and correct things the right way, not by in the old days, like how my mom telling me, like, You know, our neighbors used to give us butt whoopings if something happened, and I don't really feel like that's the appropriate situation for that now. We thoroughly have to hear our children. We thoroughly have to see the whole picture of situations and things for what they are, and not how we are wanting them because we're wanting control. And then again, to just set foot, like, we're up next. We have to be the ones to sit here and turn all of this right, you know, instead of just complaining about it, instead of calling the kid down the street a badass. Like, well, do you even consider why he might be quote unquote a badass? Like, you don't know what a person's home life is like. Yeah, he might have a mom in there that's a single parent, and she's probably doing her damnness to sit here and set him on the right foot. But because he's going to public school and being around other kids, or because of the fact that he's sitting here he was around other adults that influenced this badass behavior, now this boy is getting harbored down with all these negative words, and it's infusing in his brain. This is not the right way how to sit here and have and grow and cultivate these young leaders, these young people that are going to be having the world in their hands literally once we are gone. So we really have to be mindful about what it is that we're saying, what it is that we're doing, how we're reacting, who it is that we have around our children, you know, who it is that we have in ourselves, around ourselves. What is it that we're taking in? It's so much to consider here. And instead of complaining, we have to become a part of the solution, you know? All right, peace and abundance. Yeah, I mean, I hope y'all receive this message well. Like, comment, subscribe, comment. Like I said, I love interacting with you all in the comments. All right, peace.